the club.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another edition of the Club Cool Podcast. I'm your host, Barrett Dudley, and I'm joined, as always, on the other side of the table by Phil Battaglia. Phil, what's going on, man?
Hey Barrett, how are you?
Just hanging out on a Wednesday, you know. We've got producer Adam instead of producer Randy today. These kids, they're trial by fire this week. Randy is out. He just bounced. He went to Las Vegas.
Fired.
He's
happened.
He's done.
Yeah.
He's out.
They're gonna let him know when he gets back.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the problem with leaving and letting somebody else come in and do your job.
Yeah.
Right? Here in the Watch Media studios. It's just like, what if Adam's just like light years ahead of Randy on the ones and twos over there?
He probably is.
Actually, I'm on the ones and twos over here. You can add us on Instagram at Club Cool Pod. I'm getting the hang of this thing, by the way.
Good.
I'm like only like probably 6 months away from knowing exactly how to use it and and just being right on top of it when we need those sound effects. But yeah, man, we're happy to be back. There's been some big sneaker news again, Phil.
Wow.
As much as we want to quit this, we just can't.
They won't let you.
That's why the idea of like any type of post sneaker thing where nobody cares about this anymore is just kind of laughable to me a little bit. We can write all the think pieces that we want about the issues within the game, and everybody knows that there are many. But it's like, yeah, there are a lot of options out there right now. Plenty for us to choose from beyond sneakers, which is really nice. But sneakers as kind of like a home base, it's definitely not going anywhere.
Right.
So the news that I'm referring to, of course, is just a moment after we finished up last week, and we were talking a little bit about the High Snobiety article. Like, is there over collaboration? It was kind of a shitty article. I think we both agreed. A day later, or whatever it was, a new earth-shattering collaboration was sent down the runway by Virgil Abloh at Louis Vuitton, and he sent Air Force Ones with the classic Damier print down the runway in these super bright color blocks. And if you're watching with us on youtube.com/washmedia, then you can see these populating our screen. But if you're not, you know what this looks like. It's an Air Force One in the really, really classic color blocking where the kind of interior panels are white, and then all of the other kind of the exterior ones, the toe vamp and the heel cover, and the swoosh are all a bright color, whether it's yellow or blue or green or red. And those colored parts are what have the classic Damier LV and little flower print. Phil, you went to high school about the same time that I did. You were in the Golden Triangle. Correct?
Yeah.
I know you know about bootleg Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
So
see if you can find some.
This is such a huge moment for a lot of reasons, and I will actually tell you that I was a little bit ignorant about one piece of this puzzle. I recall this type of customization just being absolutely like crazy in the early 2000s. Like if you Nelly wrote a whole song about Air Force Ones.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like what everybody was obsessed with is these bootleg customs with Gucci or Burberry or Louis Vuitton paneling. And this was the era of Master P and tight whips and like covering your leather, like reupholstering the leather in your Ferraris.
The whole thing.
With Louis Vuitton or Gucci print.
Yeah.
What I did not know is that the true origination of the Louis Vuitton Air Force One bootleg came on the cover of Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock's It Takes Two single. So you really...
How did you find that?
Because I'll give credit where it's due, even though I think they steal from us sometimes. GQ's little press release about it.
That is true.
I swear to God, there's somebody there that is paying attention.
Yeah.
There's just too many coincidences. I know we're all in hive mind over here on the men's fashion and style world, but just too many times I've seen it where I'm like, we talked about
just
this.
talked
we
about
just talked about this,
yeah.
and it goes both ways, you know. But see these right here? That's a little Louis Vuitton Air Force One.
Louis Vuitton joint
Right there. So I did not know about this original, you know, site, this original kind of instance of this custom. But I may have told this story on the podcast before, but I had a pair of designer bootlegs in high school. They were high top Air Force Ones with the strap, and they were Burberry.
Oh my God! I would love for you to still have those.
The Burberry check on the strap and on the swoosh and in the toe panel.
Where did you get them?
So, okay, this is what I remember. I don't know how this is all connected, but I could have sworn that the website was called Nice Kicks. Now, I think it was, but I don't think that it was related to what we now know as Nice Kicks. I think it was Nice Kicks with a Z, and I mean this was like all HTML style website. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I don't even know if JavaScript had been invented yet. But they were slanging Air Force Ones with whichever designer you wanted. And I mean, this was just basically what's cool about this is that if you were influenced at all by hip hop culture in the early and mid 2000s, like to see this legitimately come to fruition is just kind of crazy and surreal. And doubly so when you consider like essentially the pieces that had to fall into place, right? Virgil kind of changed the game with sneaker culture in general with the 10 and his developed relationship with Nike. And like the success of that put him at the top over there as a creative, as a designer, essentially. Has license to do whatever he wants. If this guy, I don't know, say wanted to like release 50 dunks all in pretty much the same color, I bet they'd let him. And through the success of the Off-White line, you know, he that all transformed into him being appointed creative director at Louis Vuitton. So it was like only he could do this because of the relationship with the two brands and because of the clout and the weight and the respect that he carries. He is now like bringing his two. I mean, this dude is Thanos essentially. Like, and these are Infinity Stones, and these are like all 5 combined basically to do this shoe. This is going to be virtually impossible to get. I expect. I don't know if because it looks like there will be multiple colors. I don't know if it'll reach full Dior level where they're reselling for $10,000. Now those retailed for $2,000.
Don't you think these are retail for way more than
the Dior ones?
No, way more than a regular Air Force One.
I really, really, really hope so.
Yeah.
If they put these on Sneakers app for like under $200, I'm gonna be really pissed off.
There's no way.
Why would you? I'm already mad at Nike for like subsidizing the economy in this way, and which we've talked about before. They better not. Like these need to be $800 or $900 or $1,000 or more, and that's gonna. I mean, even so, they're gonna. These will not be approachable or attainable for, you know, any mortal man, essentially. Right. But they are really fun to look at, and
the blue's the best.
This one right here?
Yeah,
I like that a lot. The there are some great pictures of him. There, you know, he's got them with all the funky Louis Vuitton stuff and giant coats, and it's all really well done. And you know, I know that there's a lot of nits we could pick about Virgil and about what he's done as a creator, but as we've also said countless times on this podcast, the dude is maybe the best marketer of all time.
Right.
Like, and he just knows. He just has a touch. He just has a touch that allows him to create stuff like this, and set the internet on fire and make people go absolutely insane. So this is, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And again, I think that where I may be a little bit younger, and this is just two giant behemoth brands coming together for this, it would not resonate the same way that it does because of the history of this bootleg and it never having actually been a legit version yet. So that's.
So this is your early front runner for shoe of the year.
So I don't actually know. Let's see. These came down the spring 22 runway.
Okay. Next year.
But with sneakers, you never know. These could be a late 21 release. You know, if he would have taken the first opportunity to showcase these, but because they are Nikes and not just Louis Vuittons, their release schedule could very well be different. When Comme des Garçons has done stuff like this, like very frequently the shoes release well before the collection that they were paired with does. So I don't know. These probably make sense as like a November, December type holiday style release.
Good. You can put them on your list.
I don't even have any. I have no dreams of owning a pair of these. I know that they are not. They're not for normies like us, Phil.
Well,
and that's okay.
What you're about to whip out of that box over there would beg to differ.
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. We'll get to that. Let's segue here. Another popular person to appear on this podcast is Justin Bieber, and as our compatriot Will DeFries said, this dude is just volume shooting vacation photos on the gram. And I respect it, dude. When you just get to go on vacation and just have a photographer, this is what you get to do. You just get to.
You think that's not Haley behind the
hell no
the lens? You don't?
Do you?
I don't know if he has a photographer. What? Maybe he fucking does. Who knows? Or some assistant.
You're telling me if you're a celebrity going on a Grecian vacation that you're not having somebody following you around to get all your pictures,
all your angles.
He's
got bodyguards.
Whether
I'm sure
it's
that one
like
of them is...
whether it's for the family albums of you and your wife, or just to stun on the gram.
Why not?
This I don't know how long this vacation's been going on, but based on the number of photos, you would guess like 6 weeks, but I think really it's been like 4 days. That's and he's been, Justin, as always, is a mixed bag. He's crushing in multiple Bode shirts. One is brand new. One I have a story about, but let's talk about this new one. It's the red and white one. He's zagging when everybody else is zigging with the long shorts.
Yeah. He stays true to the long shorts.
He does. But every once in a while he goes shorties. But I think you're right though. He does prefer long.
You know how dumb I would look in those shorts? I would look so terrible.
We were just talking with the Circling Back crew off mic here. I think people think that Justin Bieber is short. I don't think he's that short.
Right.
I think he's solid 5'10".
Dylan's the king of
guessing heights.
Guessing height. He should have. Yeah.
He should have known.
Weighed in.
He should have known. He's got a little mixed material thing going on here.
Is this all Bode?
No, that's not Bode. But this one, the one where he loves this shirt and this fit so much that he got off 4 grams yesterday in this particular fit. This shirt is Bode, and I've got bad news, Phil. It's bad news for me, and I don't know.
It's terrible news for you.
I'm taking it as it's negative for me. I could twist it into a positive if I wanted to, but I'm not. I'm piling onto myself. I'm going negative. This Bode shirt is from last year.
Yeah.
And I bought it on sale for a great price from Notre last year, Chicago's favorite local. I sent it back because I didn't like it. And
did you get a refund?
Oh yeah, no, it was good. But yeah, man, I had this hanging on the rack. I had it for a nice little price as far as Bode goes, and you can kind of tell in this photo, and who knows, all of his stuff might just be custom done or whatever it is, or maybe he's sized up. I went with the small/medium as Bode sizes things. And it was so cropped. Mm-hmm. It was so cropped on me. And
where did the sleeves hit you? Like down here?
No, the sleeves hit me right about where they hit him. And I don't know if the pants that he's wearing, I mean, they're really funky. Obviously, they're sort of like a suit trouser, but also a Jinko. I don't know. They might be really high waisted, which is helping out the length of the shirt. But I mean, it was bad cropped on me. It's also it reads much brighter.
Yeah,
in
you
person.
can tell. That's filtered.
He's got some filters on this thing, but the bottom line is he looks so good in this thing that he got 4 photos off. I have so little swag in comparison that I tried this thing on and was like, nah.
Now, did you do the 3 outfit rule?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Still
yes.
didn't. Okay.
Still, I couldn't. No.
It looks like it could be really bright.
Yeah, and I will.
Right
I will.
there.
In this one, yeah, that's more accurate representation of the colors and the stripes. I will also say that this was a year ago, and we were still figuring out this shorts transformation, the move away from like your more tailored chino shorts into these like higher up, a little bit baggier, looser kind of fitting, elastic waisted short that you can now find everywhere this year. I didn't have it. I still don't really have good options. I keep waiting for the Gap ones that I've been preaching about that everybody I know has now bought off of our recommendation. And now that I'm finally ready to pull trig, they just won't run a sale on them anymore. and now at a principal, I refuse to cop at full price. Anyway, point being, I think I didn't. If I had grabbed this shirt this year, I think I would have had a better understanding of how to wear that fit, of how to get that crop to work with what I had going. But again, maybe not. He's got that tattoos. He's got a European tan going on, none of which I have. So it's one for Biebs and 0 for me. That's what it boils down to, Phil.
Those pants, though, don't you think when he walks around, he's got to hold them up like a dress?
I think that
they will go under, like swallow the whole shoe.
I think with these pants, he's stepping right off of the stoop into a rickshaw.
Yeah. You can't walk in those.
You can't walk in those.
Yeah.
There's no way. Yeah. No. He would be tripping every 7 feet if he tried to walk.
You know that there's dudes seeing this right now, buying pants that big, walking around in them, and they're just filthy, just like picking up everything.
Yeah. Well, that's what the baggy jeans did in the late 90s, early 2000s. They would just get absolutely destroyed on the bottom.
Like when you get to where you're going, you've now got the grossest pants.
Every time you wear these, they got to be washed.
Yeah,
for sure. You're just picking up mad debris and germs and whatever else is on the floor.
Yeah.
Gum.
Ugh.
You probably get some gum in those.
Yeah.
Just sticking to the creases. No, it's no good. I will say that this. I look to Bieber for hair, and he pulls buzz cut off well. I've got a cut on Friday.
Ooh.
It's been too humid. My hair is just getting greasy like every day.
Are you gonna buzz?
I'm not gonna buzz. I can't buzz. I won't. I'm too scared of the buzz.
Have you ever buzzed?
Yeah. Back in high school, I buzzed, and then one time in college.
I used to buzz. See, I'm like Biebs. I got I'm all eyebrow. When the hair's gone.
Yeah.
It's all eyebrow until you reach a certain length.
Right.
That's not too terribly short.
No, it's definitely grown out. I want to go. I'm definitely going short though.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Can't wait.
But it's been so hot. This has been getting so just like hard to deal with that it's and I feel like I think short is kind of back. I feel like I see a lot of dudes going either buzz cut or like buzz cut adjacent. I always wish that I had like wavier hair. Mm-hmm. Always. That's like all the hairstyles that I always like want to bring into my stylist. Always dudes with wavy hair. Never gonna work for me.
You sure you don't want to go dreads?
I'm sure that I do not want to go dreads. Yeah. I'll leave that along with the striped Bode shirt to the Biebs.
Those dreads didn't last long. He chopped them. Pretty quick.
Yeah. That's that you can do that. I think he knew what was happening there, right?
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna do this craziness, and then I'm gonna get edged up for our
2-month vacation.
Our 2-month Euro vacation.
Super yacht.
on the super yacht.
He's footing the whole bill.
And when you say that, what do you mean?
So what I mean, of course, if he were to bring a crew, he would still pay for it. But like, I'm just assuming that it's he and Haley and maybe a couple bodyguards.
So you think this is solo vacay for them?
Yeah, and they've got that huge ass boat, ship, yacht. They're just frolicking around with the full crew. I mean, I'm a big below deck guy.
Uh-huh.
So I know the inner workings of the super yacht.
Where are you seeing pictures of the yacht?
Go down where he's in the little dinghy headed out. Well, there, he's on the deck.
Right here. Yeah.
And then go down right there. It's in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. That ain't no small little boat there.
No. Yeah. What do they call that on the yacht? It's the boat that follows the yacht. They pull it. It's the.
I just called it a dinghy.
A dinghy.
But I'm not sure that that's
There's a name for it.
term.
I can't remember. Yacht owners, you can get at us and remind me what that's called. I'm going to be honest, Phil. If I'm going on a yacht, I want friends.
For sure.
I don't know why you'd want a solo yacht.
Right? That's what I'm getting at. It's like they've got all these toys and like big slides you can go down. And
Yeah. Not only does that seem boring, but it also seems scary. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know, man.
I don't want to be like,
Maybe they couldn't get a hold of you. They were trying to get you on this
canvassing the waters between Grecian Isles, and just
Where is this at? Where's he
me
doing
and my
a show
lady,
at?
and
The whole crew. Right.
Maybe he's like good friends with with the crew.
Sure.
They're partying.
The captain.
Okay. All right. Guess what? Today's podcast is sponsored by us at patreon.com. I've just released here, probably within the last hour when this podcast comes out, the first editorial. It's the one that everybody gets, even the members of our lower tier, the $2 tier, the cool kids. It's the best stuff under around $100-ish bucks. It's got some great stuff on it. Bunch of stuff just to help you upgrade your summer. Go check it out. Patreon.com/clubcool. You can also join our second tier, which is the even cooler kids. It's $5 a month, and you'll get the second editorial later tonight, which is our wish list. It's our higher end stuff. It's just the type of stuff that is inspiring us and is a maybe, is a something that we would love to have, but the one that just dropped is cop now. Get yourself something fun. Get yourself something cool for not much doll hairs. Okay, Phil. A segue, because I was just talking about our Patreon list that is approachable and affordable. I did something the opposite, and it's I did a bad thing. So let me. It's show and tell time here. So I've procured, after many months of thinking about this, a pair of, and I've also learned how to say the name, Jacques Marie Mage sunglasses.
Man, I would have never come close.
I think I was saying, I had the Jacques part right.
Yeah.
And then I was saying Marie Mage. I had the vowels all wrong. Mm-hmm. Marie Mage. I've been looking at these for a while, and this last weekend, a week or two ago, By George in Austin here, which carries the JMM sunglasses, had a little trunk show. And so they had a guy come in. His name was Steven. He was very cool. This is always like, this is the way they get you.
Yeah, okay.
And it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. This dude, knew everything about them, and he had the whole setup, and like he can answer all the questions, and he's just making you feel really, really good about the brand. So I got to try on a bunch of different pairs, and I fell in love with one. Now, the thing is, with the trunk show, and I didn't really realize this, he's there to not to open up the catalog for you. He's there to sell you what By George already has in stock or has coming in stock. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's not like because he's there doing the trunk show that you just have access to everything.
Right.
So I'll go ahead and have you kind of take a look at these here and check out the presentation.
So we were talking about this off air, but don't you agree that half the cost of these sunglasses is in this packaging?
I don't know if it's half, but when you when this is the bill for a pair of sunglasses, and you guys can all go look these up. So there's no point in hiding my shame here. So the MSRP here is $600.
A personal letter addressed to James, aka Barrett, from the shop owner who you bought these from, and it goes into detail about the colorway, what he feels about the colorway, why these are going to be great. They're going to be collector's items. It's just incredible. Then they go into number 134 of 200 on this cardstock that I'm sure you will frame and put right next to the sunglasses.
Which and it describes the frame. It's got the name there. Tells you something about them. It's got the collection and a description on the back.
What is this?
I don't know. I haven't opened it.
Let's look. Certificate of authenticity.
Certificate of authenticity. Yeah.
Remember those?
For like all your sports memorabilia?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The thing about them is that you can't even fake them.
No.
So, yeah, this is what I've also brought is a couple other pairs of sunglasses to do a little compare and contrast because the question that obviously everybody asks is this worth it? And we always ask this when we're talking about high-end goods here. And it's a common question online, whether you're on the Patreon, the Discord, talking with other listeners, or you're on Style Forum, or you're wherever else. People want to know, okay, but is it like, was it worth it? Worth the price? Worth the premium to shell out for this designer brand or this hype streetwear or whatever it is? And what you're pulling out of the box right up front is very, very important when something is this expensive, because you have to. It goes right along with the trunk show, but you better sell somebody on getting their value. So the presentation is insane, and this box obviously didn't cost nothing. And now we're talking about how like this color, only 200 are made of this frame. So while you might see these at Matches Fashion and 1269 and By George and on JMM's website, they all only carrying a few pieces each, which totals up to 200. So that's another big thing that you're paying for, and we can extrapolate that across all brands, right? Part of what makes something expensive is exclusivity, of course, but it's also how many you're producing. So a big reason that a Gap t-shirt can be $17 and a John Elliott t-shirt is $118 is because Gap is making 10,000 of them. Mm-hmm. John Elliott is maybe producing a couple hundred, and that's a giant part of the equation. If you ever get into production, whether you're building out your own line or you're working in supply chain or doing anything like that, no matter where you go, no matter what factory or manufacturer you deal with, they all have minimums. They all have a set minimum called an MOQ that you're supposed to. That's what you're supposed to hit to like secure their best price, essentially. That's where the best price starts, and then as you go up and up and up from there, that's when the price starts coming down and down and down. When you're making a run of 200, they look good.
Do I look great? I feel great.
But you're just nowhere even close to like hitting any type of reasonable minimum of quantity for this type of thing. And so that's, I always wonder, like, with some of the other brands that we talk about, whether it's John Elliott or AMA or whoever else, like their runs are so small that sometimes I wonder if they're paying the sample price for the entire run.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Because if you're making like, I've been doing this for 7 years now, and it's like, unless you're like, I've never run into a minimum less than 300 pieces.
And what was that for?
And 300 is for something with more make, something like a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you're into t-shirts, stuff like that, where they can make them quicker, the sewing is easier. Like we're talking 500 to 1,000 units per color usually. And so even on something that's 300, they usually want multiple colorways, get you up into that 1,000 unit range. And so it's just like that's a massive part of the price of anything, whichever brand you're looking at, is that number that you're making. And obviously it goes both ways, right? Because something is more exclusive, you get to charge more for it. You're making less of it, it's going to cost more as well. Mm-hmm. So that's just a big part of it. So you've now picked those up.
Let me get a gram off before I give them back to you. So they also make you feel like shit if you're going to return these, because by purchasing this pair of spectacles, you are helping to preserve American wildlife. You going to return these now, pal?
I did not know that, but now I'm just like, now I don't feel bad at all.
Right. It's worth it. Look at what you just
I'm
did.
saving the earth with my extravagance, Phil.
I tell you what, they feel good, Barrett.
They feel that the weight is pretty phenomenal. And this pair that I'm putting in front of you, this is Garrett Light. This pair is about half the cost. And I want you to just notice the difference in the way that they feel in your hand, essentially. Because this,
it's crazy.
So that pair just made an expensive pair of sunglasses feel unsubstantial.
What's the retail on these?
So about half, somewhere in the 275, 300.
But you're right; they don't feel near as luxurious.
No.
But I wonder if Jacques does he do a thinner frame at all?
So the thing that Jacques does best, what he is known for, is this super chunky acetate frames.
Yeah.
And so for me, going into this and just deciding to go for a pair, it wasn't a question. I didn't even try on some of their metal frames because
throw those on.
Because this is the look that I was after.
Yeah. See, looking good, feeling good.
And so it's just the chunkiness, the weight, the heaviness. Country of origin, manufacturing also is a giant difference when it comes to this stuff. Those are made in Japan, probably the most expensive place to have stuff made.
Really?
Currently. Yeah.
This is Italian leather.
And
not that this was a huge piece, but man, does it smell good.
I would just say this is kind of across the board, but is especially so for a couple of the places that I'm going to make. People put a lot of weight behind made in the USA and made in Italy. Mm-hmm. And when those are good indicators sometimes, but there are bad factories, bad manufacturers, and poor labor practices in both places. Mm-hmm. So just because something is made in the USA or made in Italy does not mean that it wasn't produced in that does not mean it was produced in some fine factory.
Yeah.
Where everybody is getting paid super fair wages and is treated well and all of that. Japan seems to have a bit of a different reputation. That's where skilled craftsmen and sewers and makers all seem to be like the most expensive stuff, the most expensive brands. Visfum, for example. Mm-hmm. Everything is made in Japan. The Garrett Light is made in China. And then I've got one more for you, Phil, because this is a pair from Rain. I believe these retail for $100 something. Mm-hmm. But these are pairs that you can get through Bespoke Post for about $50.
They're wide.
They're very wide. I need to have those pushed in, which you can. By the way, if you ever need sunglasses adjusted, go to like a real like a Lens Crafters.
Okay.
Sunglass Hut will make a big deal if you didn't buy them from Sunglass Hut. Yeah. But if you go to an eyeglasses store, they'll get you set.
Warby's always been good.
Yeah, and So if you get a pair of Warby Parkers, they'll definitely do all that for you.
This store is next to Howler, isn't it?
It is. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, these are nice. They're really wide though.
Very
wide.
Gonna
fall off.
Yeah. But I think what you see is that the difference between 100 and 300 is a lot less than the step up from
Yeah.
300 to 5 or 600.
Yeah.
But it was, after doing this type of little comparison work and just kind of thinking about all of the production capabilities. Now, of course, this is all stuff that I'm using to talk myself into feeling good about a purchase. But, I think it is. It's no shock like why something like this is expensive.
Yeah.
You can see all the make, you can see what goes into it, you understand why and how the price is what it is essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, I get it. I mean, just like when heavy French terry stuff came out and it was like all really expensive and Off-White, everything was like super heavy t-shirts.
Yes.
When you get in your hand, you're like, oh yeah, this should be this expensive. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you go to Kith and they're like mass producing that stuff.
Isn't it? And I'll say that. And I think we talked a little bit about Pat from Uniform. Just had a new drop of T-shirts about an hour ago, by the way. Like, weight has become such an essential part of perceived quality.
Well, this has been documented, I think, before. But men, when they're shopping, what do? You're feeling.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, like that. I mean, women want to try stuff on. We're more like, all right, yeah, that feels good. Let's go.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want to try it on because nothing fits me.
But
I'm always feeling, always.
But don't you feel like there was a point in time where we were after like lightness and airiness?
Right.
I even think back to like I threw on a Save khaki T-shirt recently, and I championed those for so long because of their like breeziness and loose drape and like all that. And I just and there's still a time and a place where I definitely want that. But I feel like what we go for now when we do that, when we walk around a store and we pick up things and feel them, we want that like that weight in our hands. Like, oh yeah, like that's quality. That's how I know it. Is if it's heavy, it must be good. So it's just kind of that's just been like another shift. I feel like is the kind of the desire has changed from lightness, softness to weight and heaviness and construction, essentially.
And another thing with these it's Purcell, right? The other sunglass brand that's
Purcell, yeah.
Purcell. That you can pick them out instantly is because the nice like metalwork, and they don't lack on that either. And to me, if somebody were to say like these are $100, I wouldn't believe you. They feel like they have to be at least $300.
Yeah.
So you're gonna keep them?
I think so. I've been gearing up to make this purchase for a little while.
It's been a long time coming, Barrett.
And
would you say that our friend Mark Aru, had any influence on you? His ad campaign?
Not Mark specifically, but that last Frontier collection that they did definitely pushed me down the river a little bit further, I'll say. And also just, man, whether it's, again, like one thing that I feel like the pandemic has really kind of articulated for us is what, your peer group and your community does for you. And when you take this online and you find like these little niche groups of people that are interested in the same thing that you are, like the Jacques Marie Mage thread on Style Forum just like took off. It absolutely took off. There's really, Style Forum's an interesting place because there are many threads about lots and lots of different brands. But there are like 10 threads that essentially keep the entire site running. You know what I mean? Like they're the ones that have comments every single day and people are posting photos and talking about stuff. And like one of them is the sale alert thread.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is the John Elliott thread. Another is an 18 East thread. And this JMM one has like popped off over the last 6 months. And there is no question that thread is selling sunglasses because people keep posting them and they look so badass. And like
You might be able to find the other 199 compadres.
You maybe could.
That have the other yellow colorway. y'all could do a meetup.
And how about the color? Seed is the color name. It's not yellow, Phil. It's seed.
Nothing shocks me with colors after even the colors that we used at RG
Rowdy?
was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's nice though. I love those. Those are great.
But so the community aspect of it, like,
you're all in this together.
yeah, man. If there was no thread like pumping these up and talking about them, and we're all patting ourselves on the back and like telling each other that, like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah,
You deserve those.
you deserve it. What a great use of funds, of capital you just made there.
Yeah.
It's like, no, without that, do I pull trig on these? Probably not.
The trunk show really sealed the deal for
The
me.
trunk, 1,000,000%.
Did they have the seed in there?
They did, and so that was I felt both good and bad that I settled on that frame and that color, because By George had not bought that one, therefore I could not buy it from By George. But that meant I got to reallocate to a different store, which was not in the state of Texas and is a relatively small little operation, which means I didn't pay tax.
Very good.
So
You hate tax.
you rain and tax. Those are my two least favorite things.
I hope nobody from the IRS is listening to this.
No, not. I
You
mean,
pay your
like,
taxes.
I pay my taxes.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm okay
He
with
does not pay his taxes.
tax.
audit
Like,
them.
I understand and I can live with taxes. Sales tax.
Yeah.
I got so used to shopping at Mr. Porter and Barney's and Essence with no sales tax that when it was time to pay the piper and they all had to change, that's just that's
It's a hard pill to swallow, isn't it?
yeah. I hate it.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Well, you got to win on this one.
Yeah, well now I'm constantly seeking out the places that are still small enough to not have to charge it, and I like to support those places. But yeah, man. So that's what I got today.
That was big.
So check us out, youtube.com/washmedia, and I'll jump in the cord, because if you want to, I'll post some pics and we can
Barrett will pump you up enough to go buy.
and
a pair of
I will pump you up. Yeah, I'll be your community, telling you that this is it's well worth your hard-earned doll hairs.
I've seen somebody in the cord that's copped.
Yeah, there is. Yep. There's a. Yep. I'm not the first.
But you're
So-
one of only 200.
Only one of
that has
only
that
200.
colorway.
That's right. That's
And
right.
you're going to frame that and keep it.
I'm gonna get a shadow box.
Nice.
Yeah, that way I can put the whole kit and caboodle in there.
Put the sunglasses in there.
I'm gonna get a 3D printer and do a rendering of them to add to the shadow box.
They're great, man.
Yeah, man. That's all that's on my list today. You got anything else for us?
No, I'm going to add some recent. I had a come up in the betting department.
That's right. You can find Phil's betting pick on our wish list.
Yeah.
Which is for the $5 tier there on Patreon.
I'm also trying out J. Crew denim.
Okay.
Should arrive next week, I believe. I don't know why.
Did you?
I'm trying. I know why. I'm going down that rabbit hole of Bourdain. I'm trying to get the
You
whole
go. Okay.
outfit.
You try. Okay.
I need more just regular wash denim.
Yeah.
That's not super tapered.
What fit did you go
It's
for?
their skinny fit, but for me,
That's gonna be
a slim fit,
Okay.
and it's gonna actually
the 220 something or other,
I don't
or the
know,
440, 444.
probably sounds right. It's their skinny fit.
But they got a skinny fit.
This is
now.
not the skinny.
Not the okay. All right. Okay.
We'll see. I'll probably send them back.
I hope it goes better for you than the Todd Snyder experience did.
That was something. No, it can't be any worse than that.
They popped off on sale today. Todd Snyder added some summer sale, but not the pants. No pants in
Well,
there.
they look great. I mean, all the pics look fantastic.
Not those pants is what I mean.
Right,
There
I'm
are
sure they're
some sale
selling the hell
pants.
out of them. But
Yeah.
boy, you got to get ready for those. You got to have the right body type.
Yeah. It's just I mean, winter wardrobes are made in the summer, but it's always so hard to buy pants
Yeah, especially
once it rolls around to this time of year. Here.
those are heavy. Like, man, they were something. I really wish I would have brought them out. That was stupid.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll reorder.
Well, now we're showing and telling, and as often as you want, man.
Yeah.
All right. I think that wraps it up for us today.
Thank
Once
you,
again,
everyone.
add us on the gram. At Club Cool Pod. Check us out on Patreon. It's the best way to support this podcast. If you don't need anything from any one of our great sponsors, patreon.com/clubcool. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. And we'll see you next week. Have a happy 4th of July.
See ya.
Welcome to the club.